And from there, you know, maybe take the input drive up to about 8 if you want a little bit more grip. And again, with a bit of reverb. So that covers the SLO models. We also have models of the Soldano X99 and X88R preamps. Now, I don't own an X88, but I do own a Russian-made clone of one, and I find these to be very, very similar. So let's go to the Solo 88 lead, and we'll just basically go to the stock settings. So I'll take, here's a really quick way to get the stock settings, by the way. If you go Edit, Reset Block, it's going to take you to the stock settings, which is really cool. So this is the stock settings on this. You can see that the presence as stock is a little bit higher. And we'll just compare it to the SLO. So this is the, let's go back to the stock Solo 100, which is right here. And then we'll go to the X88, just to give you an idea of like the kind of fundamental tonal. So you can hear that the X88 is a little bit tighter sounding overall, and if we kind of apply the same settings we had with the SLO that I really liked, you can get that kind of liquid lead sound happening again. So basically just bring the presence down a little bit. We can leave the mid and the treble at 5. And I won't touch the master in this case, but I will bring the input drive up to 7. And this is one of my favorite amp models in the AX8. It's really, really great for lead stuff. I could go on playing guitar for days like that. That's with some delay and some hall reverb again. We also have the X99, which was like a motorized version from memory of the X88 with a couple of differences. So if we have a listen to the X99 on those lead settings, I'll leave the delay and reverb on because why not? So as you can hear, it is not that much different. It's a little bit thinner sounding, I think, than the X88, like just a little bit. So I do tend to like this mode. And then if we turn all this reverb and delay off and we just have a listen to the rhythm mode of the X88, this is the lead mode. as you can hear there, it's a little bit muddy compared to the Soldano. As you can hear there, it's a little bit muddy compared to the SLO rhythm channel. I definitely prefer the SLO rhythm channel for AC/DC style stuff. This is kind of like a nothing mode for me. I'd just kind of move right along. But the clean channel on either the 88 or the 99, 99 I should say, it's really, really nice if you want sort of like lush 80s cleans. I'll put that delay and reverb on. Basically, again, use the Fender style settings, you know, bass around 2, mids sort of around 3, the treble's already around 6, and boost the input drive. Let's say if we go to about 8. This is what it sounds like. It's, yeah, very, very Fender based. And I apologize there, my guitar is going a little bit out of tune. But they're the clean modes. To me, they're not bad for clean sounds. They do sound really good with some delay and reverb, but there are definitely other amps I would probably go to as my first call for clean sounds. But the mighty SLO 100 and the X88R, so the Solo 88 and the Solo 100, the lead modes are just glorious for lead guitar. You know, if you want to sound like George Lynch, Steve Lukather, Warren DeMartini, either of those will hit those spots. And then the Soldano 100 rhythm is a real favorite of mine for just classic rock tones. And yeah, that's the kind of roundup of the Soldano. There is another amp model which to me is Soldano-ish, and that is the Corncob model, which I'll do a separate video on, but to me that also sounds really close to my Soldano Hot Rod 50 Plus. So that's one that I really, really like. Just for fun, one thing that you can do that I think is really quite fun is if you take a rectifier model, like say the Recto 1 Red, at the stock settings, we've got this going on. I'll turn that reverb off. And you go into the rectifier and you change the preamp style, the tone stack in this case. From default, we'll find the Solo 100 tone stack, which is right here. This sounds pretty cool. And you kind of get like a Soldano rectifier hybrid. You can hear that still definitely sounds like a rectifier. But if you go to the Soldano, let's say the 100 lead, and we change the in the preamp section the tone stack to a Recto, let's go Recto Red Bright. This sounds. And that has a pretty cool character to it, so you can play around with that kind of tone stack modification. But otherwise, hopefully that gives you a pretty good roundup of the Soldano modes. Basically, if you want that lead sound, use the Soldano 100 lead or the 88 lead. And then if you want a great classic rock crunch, use the 100 rhythm channel. The clean sounds, they're cool. If you want like an error-accurate Lukather or something like that, they're worth checking out. But that's how I like to dial the Soldano amp models in on the Fractal AX8. great. And if you enjoyed this video, check out my other clips which are doing similar things, dialing in different amps on this wonderful machine, and hit the subscribe button. Cheers.